What's going on, family? Back on here with the Juke, man. Today we're going to be dropping our schedule predictions for the season. And before we dive into that, man, Road to 1K is still active. We're less than 50 away, y'all. So if this is your first time on this channel, man, subscribe down below. Like up the video, comment down below your thoughts on it. And we're going to be going in assuming that everyone's 100% healthy. Because why wouldn't we? Listen, the Giants, they get hurt every single season. So on these predictions, we're going to assume that they're 100% healthy and see how they do on the season. Let's dive straight into it. And before we start on this, man, I want to let y'all know I'm going to be 100% unbiased. I'm going to try to be straight up as I can be. You know, there might be some losses that you might not agree with. There also might be some dubs that you might not agree with. So we're going to go into that now. And the first game is going to be against the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of eyes are going to be on us. You know, obviously with the Giants adding people on the offense, adding people on the defense, it's going to be our first time to really see them be put in action. Because I don't expect too much things going on in the preseason to really show how we're going to play this upcoming season. And when it comes to the Cowboys, it's always a tough game. But I'll be real. I think we're going to escape this game with the W, and purely because we're home. If we were in Jerry World, normally I feel like every single time we open the season against the Cowboys, we're not home. So we're home against the Cowboys this season. I think we're going to get the dub. And we're going to be 1-0 after this season. You know, Dak Prescott, we don't know what's going on with him. They added some pieces on that offense, Brandon Cooks, but listen, they lost some people as well. That defensive side of the ball is still going to be nasty, but I think the Giants are going to be able to shock them and pull off the upset in the first game of the season. Next, we're going to be taking on the Arizona Cardinals, and I'll be straight up, this is a W for us. I don't see the Cardinals being better than us. You know, DeAndre Hopkins is still on the trade block. We don't really know if he's going to play for the Cardinals this season or not. It's really weird that he's still on the team, so we'll see what happens with that. Kyler Murray coming off that injury. I'm not too sure if he's going to even be active in week 2. He did hurt his knee like closer to the end of the last season, and I don't keep up with the Cardinals, I'll be real. So I think the Giants are going to come out here. It's going to be in Arizona, so it's going to be a little tedious and it's going to be a little tough on us. But listen, man, I think the Giants are flat out better than the Cardinals. I think we'll come up with a plan and ultimately get the job done. And this offense will really start to kick into gear because the Cardinals defense is just not what it was. So at this point, we are 2-0. We're going to be taking on the 49ers in San Francisco. Once again, first 9 games of the season, 7 of them are away. So extremely tough schedule, I'll be honest. Taking on the 49ers in San Francisco, they have a lot of question marks, right? We don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for them, whether that's Trey Lance or, you know, we know Brock Purdy's not going to be there. So it should be Trey Lance. We don't know what Trey Lance is going to look like. That defense is still there. That defense is still going to be really strong. This is going to be a short week after playing the Cardinals, Thursday Night Football in San Francisco once again. So I don't think we're going to be able to get the W on this one, straight off fatigue and also how tough that defense is. We all know that they were like the #1 defense by a mile last season. So I do think that the 49ers will give us a problem, and I think that's going to be our first loss of the season, week 3, Thursday night. So then after a long layoff, we got an extended period of time because then our next game is going to be Monday Night Football, home against the Seahawks. You guys are going to like this one. I don't have us winning this game. Straight up, because the Seahawks, you know, they're a very tough team. Last year, it was a really close game, and you could argue if we had the pieces that we should have had in that game, we could have came away with the W. But ultimately, I think the Seahawks, you know, they had some great additions, adding someone like Jackson Smith to the receiving corps. So they have like 3 top receivers that I wish we had at least one of them on our team. The Seahawks are going to be very tough to stop. That defense is still young, and that defense still has some studs out there at the corner position. And ultimately, man, once again, I see it being a tough game. It could go either way. We are home in this game, so it should be a lot of home field advantage for us. But, you know, and it could be a really close game, and I just have the Seahawks squeaking out over us, putting us at 2-2. Now, week 5 against the Miami Dolphins. I will be attending this game, so since I'll be there, it's straight up going to be a W. The Dolphins are tough. When you look at other people on the schedule, the Dolphins should be better than the Seahawks. So why do I say we're going to beat them in their enemy territory? I don't think Tua is that guy. I'm gonna be real. I don't believe in Tua like that. You know, he has a great wide receiving core with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I was there last time we were there, right? Tua was playing, Jalen Waddle was there, he killed us, but that was against the Joe Judge led team. If you've been subscribed, you know I've talked about it multiple times, man. I went down to this game and watched Mike Glennon play terrible all game and watch us lose a close one. I think the Giants should come in here, come with a plan. A good matchup to watch is Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill facing Deonte Banks and Adoree Jackson. That's going to be really good. 2 corners with great speed. 2 wide receivers with really great speed. And yeah, I'm excited for this game. I'm going to be attending this game once again. So if y'all going, let me know down in the comments, man. And we're going to turn up, and I think we get the W. Week 6 against the Buffalo Bills. Last time we played the Bills was actually the last time Eli Manning started before Daniel Jones took over. It wasn't Eli Manning's last start, but it was the last start before we put in Daniel Jones. I'm going to be honest, we're not winning this game. Playing in Buffalo, it's going to be a tough game, and it's another Sunday Night Football. All of our primetime games are like right in the beginning. It's very weird. Having Josh Allen at the helm and having that strong defense, man, the Buffalo Bills are going to be tough. Playing on Sunday night, and also the Giants are just very young. Flat out, they're very young. Last season, we came away with a lot of close games. Our schedule is a lot harder this season than last season. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to beat us in this one. I'm going to be honest, Washington, week 7, we're sweeping them this season. There's not much else to be said. Daniel Jones owns that franchise. They owned them when they were the Redskins. They owned them when they were the Commanders. And they also owned them when they were the football team. We are sweeping the Commanders this season. Not much else to be said. I think the Jets might not be as great as everyone's thinking. That's just my humble opinion. I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to say any of that. I think they'll be a good team, but I just don't think they'll be where everyone expects them to be. Hopefully the Jets O-line can hold up for Rodgers, man, because he didn't have a great one in his last couple seasons with the Packers. You saw what happened with his play. I don't think the O-line is as great as it might make it out to be. Rodgers should help a little bit, but listen, man, I think the Giants are going to take this one. The defense is very stout. I think our defense is stout as well. And I have the Giants winning this one. The Las Vegas Raiders, I have us winning this game. Once again, they're not supremely talented. They got Garoppolo at the helm. New quarterback for them. They did lose Waller because now he's on our team. I think Waller's going to have a big game in this one because it has a lot of personal ties. And ultimately, man, I just don't think the Raiders are better than us. That's just how I feel. They're not better than us. We're going to go in and we're going to get this W. We're winning this one. Now, the first game of the season, I did have us getting the dub, right? We haven't won a game with the Dallas Cowboys since that one season where we were 6-10 and couldn't make the playoffs. We haven't beat them since. I have us splitting them this season, so that means we're going to lose this game in Jerry World. They're a tough place to play, a tough environment to play in, and ultimately the Cowboys are a good team. I hate to say it, they're a good team. I think the Cowboys are going to beat us in this one. They can't afford to lose to us twice. And also, once again, man, in Jerry World, it's a tough place to play in, man. The Cowboys are going to beat us in this one. The Commanders were sweeping, moving past that one. We got the Patriots, man. The Patriots is going to be a really good game. I'm not too fond of Mac Jones. I don't think he's going to be all that. He regressed this past season. I do blame the coaching on that, but I think he's damaged goods at this point. Patriots fans are not going to like me for saying that one, but listen, I think the Giants are going to beat the Patriots. This will be a home game for our New York Giants, and I think ultimately this team is better than the Patriots. Bill Belichick is always going to have that defense ready, but listen, man, I think our defense is going to create problems for their offense, and ultimately I have the Giants squeaking out this one. It might be a close game. I'm not going to say that we're going to blow them out, but I think the Giants should be able to take care of this one. So after our bye week, we are taking on the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football, man. That's going to be a really good game. This is on my birthday. I really want to make it to this game. I'm not too sure if I will, but I will be trying to watch this regardless. Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love playing a full season for the Green Bay Packers. We don't know what that looks like yet, and this year we will find out. We still know that they didn't have that much great of a receiving core before Aaron Rodgers left, so we know there's not really two dangerous weapons. Especially without Rodgers, it's hard for me to believe that they have a crazy amount of weapons. They still have that two-headed monster in the backfield. I think we handled them last season. I think we'll be able to do so again this season. We're getting this W. Now, the New Orleans Saints. The one thing about the Saints is it's a tough environment to play in when it comes to playing in New Orleans, man. Playing in that dome, man, they just always know how to turn up, especially with that defense. The Saints, a lot of names are not there anymore. We already know Drew Brees is not there anymore. Jameis Winston was a quarterback last season. He won't be the quarterback for this upcoming season. I believe they have Andy Dalton, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I forgot they added Derek Carr. So Derek Carr is at the helm for this upcoming season. We beat Derek Carr before. I don't think he's all that great. Michael Thomas, if he's healthy for them by week 15, that'll be a miracle. He hasn't been healthy in a while. That defense sometimes just be turning up, and I'm going to be honest, I don't see us being the Saints in New Orleans. We very well could. But sometimes, man, there's these losses that are just disappointing to you. There's some losses that, we could expect to lose to them. This is one I don't expect losing to, but I feel like we will. Don't know why. If we win, I'll retrace back to this one. The Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. I hate the fact that both of our games against the Eagles are very late into the season. This is the time that you really start to see where the playoff seeding is. The same way it happened last season where we took off week 18 because we had nothing to play for. Guess what? We're playing them again in week 18. But when it comes to the week 16 matchup, I'm going to be real. I can't say we beat them until I see us beat them. I can't say we will beat the Eagles if I haven't seen it yet. So we're going to lose both games to the Eagles. Just label both of those as an L. They're a very strong team. They just went to the Super Bowl. They just retooled in the draft, and they added even more crazy players. We know they have Jalen Carter. So the Eagles, they're a strong team. I don't have us beating them. And I hate to say that because, man, I do not like the Eagles. I don't. But listen, they're a very tough team. I don't see us beating the Eagles. Week 17, the last matchup we'll be talking about, and that will be the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, as you know, big Super Bowl hangover. They completely fell off, didn't even make the playoffs. Matthew Stafford got hurt. They had some other key pieces that got hurt. Jalen Ramsey departed from that defense. So this team looks very different than the Super Bowl winning team. we'll see what it shapes out to be. I think the Giants should be able to take care of this one on New Year's Eve, and the Giants will come away with the W against the Rams. This puts us in a strong position to be able to make the playoffs. We'll see if we do. So that's going to wrap up this prediction, man. That leaves us at 10-7, man. 10-7. I do think we make the playoffs. It's going to require a team like the Cowboys or the Eagles to fall off if I'm going to make a pick. I think the Cowboys are going to have a worse record than us. That's my hot take for this upcoming season, man. I think the Giants should be storming out the gates, having a little slipping points and losing a couple games that they should be able to win. But 10-7 ultimately, I think we'll get them in. You know, last season, 3 teams from the NFC East came out of the division and went into the playoffs. This season, I can't bank off of that. So the Giants need to come in. They need to go with that mindset that they need to be number 2 and hopefully make the playoffs. I think we will. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Comment down below what y'all schedule prediction is. Like the video. And once again, subscribe. Road to 1K is still active, man. I will catch y'all on the next one. If you haven't seen my other ones, I have more to the left right here. Peace. What's going on, family? Back on here with the Juke, man. And calling all the Daniel Jones haters. Pull up to this video. Watch this video real quick. The New York Yankees lose the series. We get swept back in the third quarter. The third quarter was really when we started to make our moves. Then DeMar, banger.
Make sure you subscribe to the Juke.